Hi, my name is Ravinder Singh. Getting on with the task at hand, the first and foremost application that we were supposed to develop was the Animal Clicker app. What we were supposed to implement was to insert a few images of animals. Here I have chosen a koala, a panda, and a group of cats. So, whenever I click on an animal, a message would show saying something, giving us a description of that animal. So, and after that, I could click on another button to revert back to the original state of the emulator. So I'm just going to show how it works. So if I click on a koala, it's going to say the koala is sleeping. If I click on a panda, it will it will display the panda says hi. And if I click on cats, the cats need food. And if I click on clear text, it will revert back to the original state. Going above and beyond, I have implemented sound management. And let's just say I click on the koala, it will produce a sound of the koala itself. And if I click on the panda or the cats, it's it it is going to do the same job. What I've also done on top of this is if I click on a koala and while that sound is running, I click on the panda's sound will override the koala's sound. And the same thing goes for the cats. Or if I click on the koala and I immediately click on clear text, the sound will stop. So I'm going just gonna show you over here. So as you can see, the koala sound stopped playing and the panda sound overrided it. And if I click on cats and I immediately click on clear text, the sound will stop once again. So that was pretty much it for this application. Coming on to the next application, the traveling application. I've chosen London as my city of choice. There's a brief description that is asking me to select a travel mode and select a destination. So some dummy data have been inserted over here, which I can choose. So if I click on train, it will give me a few destinations: Birmingham, Bristol, Brighton. And if I click on airplane, Edinburgh, Manchester, Glasgow. And for a boat ride, there's the Greenwich boat ride, Westminster to Kew cruise, and Thames River sightseeing. So let's say I click on train and I chose Birmingham as my destination. And I click on submit. Some dummy data, some mock data, a description would be displayed over here. If I go on boat and I click on Thames River sightseeing, as you can see over here, it is being displayed over here dynamically in real time. And apart from that, I could just click on clear selection to remove this radio button and the spinner over here. So here we are at the third application, the pizza app. What we were supposed to develop was an application where a user could choose their own toppings, own ingredients, or their choice of vegetables. The pickles has been marked as $1, the peppers $1, $2 $2 for olives, and $1 is being charged for onions. However, the pizza base has been set at a default value of $6. So let me just go on with it. If I click on peppers or onions and mushrooms, they are being dynamically displayed over here in real time. The RGBs for these I have implemented in the code. So after that, I could just clear the order, or I could just select a few of these options and I could order the pizza, and it will just give you a pop-up message that the order has been placed. This is the fourth application, the animal catalog app. In this app, this app was very simplistic. All we had to do was design a page where a picture of an animal would display, a description could be given, and two buttons, next and previous. However, we were also asked to implement horizontal scrolling, which I was unable to do. Apart from that, we had to redirect the thumbnails to their specific pages as well, and I was unable to implement that either. So if I click on next, I could go to the deer page and the rabbit page, and this is grayed out because there are no other animals after this one. There's just three of them here, so I could just go back. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this application. This is the fifth application, the register and login app. Here I've mentioned the title as user authentication app, but it pretty much does the same thing. If I enter a username over here, any username, I haven't signed up yet, so it won't let me log in because the user has not registered right now. The credentials are invalid. So I go to sign up, I enter my name, I click on mail, I choose my date of birth, which could be whatever, I enter a random name, and I sign up. So input validation has been implemented, which asks me to fill all the fields, and let's say I put the password as max and I re-enter the password as max1. So it won't let me sign up because the passwords do not match. However, when the passwords do match, I can easily sign up, and it brings me back to the login page. Here I just need to enter my username and my password. Now once I'm done, I just click on login and it takes me to the login page, where it welcomes me. It displays my information. Here you can see the username, the sex, the age, and if I just click on logout, it logs me out back to the login screen. So yeah, that was pretty much it for this application. Okay, so the sixth app was a phone contacts app. Here we were supposed to generate a list of contacts and a search functionality added, so that if I type the initials of a person, I could search through them. If I type the letters in between the person's name, let's say OW for Alex Brown, I could search that too. um, One other thing we were supposed to do was, if I click on this, there should be a box, sheet, where I could video call the person, I could message the person, or I could check the history of the person with whom I texted or called. So if I click on this, there are a few options. I could call the person, I could video call the person, I could text him, or I could check the history. So this was the entire app, but I went above and beyond and implemented all of these features. If I call, the and emulator or the Android would ask me for permission to access my microphone and my contacts list. If I call you a video call, the emulator would also ask me for access to the camera. And just to test it out, I'm gonna message Alex Brown. So I just sent a text message. There's a small pop sound that plays. So this was the entire functionality that I implemented in this application. Last but not the least, here I have the library book reservation app. In this application, I have implemented vertical scrolling that lets me scroll through the books. The images have been generated using Glide, which is an image loading framework for Android. The information of the books has been generated using a JSON placeholder, which basically generates random texts and numbers for you. That has been implemented using the retrofit client over here, as you can see. So if I click on reserve book, it takes me to the calendar, in which I can enter my start date and end date, and I just click on save, or I could go back. I just click on save and this book has been reserved. So I could choose to stay on the same page now, or I could go to checkout. Let's say I want to reserve this book now. So I click on this, I choose a starting date and an ending date. I click on save and then I go to checkout. Here the details of the books are being generated: the user ID, the starting date, the ending date, the daily rate of the book, and the days for which the book has been reserved. And this is the same information for the next book. The total bill has been displayed over here. Due to some time constraints, I was unable to implement the choose payment method, but let me just show you one thing. If I go back over here, I can just unreserve this book. So that was it for this application.